Welcome to Amateur Decorating Like a Pro. I am Catherine.
So here we are with video number 2 in creating a craft room / office. The painting has been done. I even decided to paint the ceiling at the last minute, and I'm glad that I did. It really opened up the space. So now on to organizing. I purchased a couple of craft caddies from Hobby Lobby. 40% off. Went in multiple days when they open first thing in the morning. Gotta play it safe. Also, guys, I'm able to separate out some of the small things in my craft room / office so that it doesn't look so junky. When you have lots of little pieces, it can really become junky. But it's great to have this caddy because I'm able to separate out my paints, see them right away. I wasn't keen on having a lot of labels showing, but this worked out beautifully, being that it is small and compact and it doesn't overwhelm me. Now, I did order a couple of cube shelves, these two right here from Walmart. They are 15 inches in depth. They need to be 13 inches for the cubes that I have, but nevertheless, that's a small cut to make. That way, the caddy can rest on top of the shelf instead of on top of the box. They should be here, I guess, in a couple of days. This caddy really comes in handy. I have all of my markers here, Sharpies here, and I also have my upholstery markers on the inside of a small vase from Dollar Tree. So it is multifunctional. So I really like this, that all I have to do is just spin, and I don't have a bunch of pins or anything lying around on my desk or the table. And yeah, I did colorize the markers. I did. If you've been with me a while, you know I have a couple of items in my home that belong to my grandparents. And this wardrobe / chiffero belonged to my grandmother. And of course, I've had it restored before, and it is very fragile. That wood is very thin, but yet it is strong. So it's starting to decay a lot on the bottom and on the back. So I'm going to do my best to salvage it and work it into this space. So if you find things around your house, or even some of these old TV cabinets that most people are throwing away and donating, they are perfect for craft rooms. You can get so much in them, and a lot of them are so strong that you can actually reconfigure the door for storage. It's just amazing what you can do with some of these items. Now let's take a look at what's inside the boxes, the $1.99 boxes from Michaels. Inside this first box are stains. These are things that I can use when I'm doing a piece of furniture and I want it to look a little old, or maybe a picture frame, or even just be a bottom coat so I can put more metallic finishes on top. These little craft paints left over from other jobs, they come in handy. Then I also have some colors here in the back that help me to kind of fluff the color a little bit, to maybe change the tint of it. That's what these are. I call them stains. So I know what it means. So this is what I'm saying to you guys, is you have to find a way to identify the things that you're going to use often. So you can see my copper, you see silver, you see my rub and buff. You guys know those are my lifelines when it comes to doing crafts. I love these $1.99 boxes. I applied the label to a small piece of paper before I placed it inside the label holder. And I wanted to show you, if you do not have a box with a label holder on it, you can put the label onto the shelf. I like putting it on the shelf because when you walk past it a lot and you rub up against it, it seems to curl up the ends of the label, and you really don't get that when it's on the shelf. I usually lift my boxes out and it doesn't rub against the shelf, so I just prefer this method. I call this particular container the floral container because it has to do with making all kinds of floral decor for the holidays or seasonally. I've got floral wire, I've got twine, rubber bands. You guys know I use those for my tree toppers. And then of course fishing line. I use that to make a lot of Christmas decor. So guys, it's amazing what you can find when you start to clean up. I was surprised that I had multiple things like the rubber bands and the fishing line, and they were brand new, never opened before. I call this one the Bling Tote. I mean, I've got some Totally Dazzled in here, and it's amazing again how much stuff I had in multiple little containers floating around, and just putting them in the space and then doing a DIY and then jumping back out and putting the stuff away, starting the next DIY. That made no sense when I was always surrounded with the little chaos, and I hated that. You see, the Totally Dazzled for making Christmas ornaments, for just making simple DIY, even home decor. I have tons of this stuff. That large tote of gems that I gotten from Hobby Lobby, still have tons of them, enough to almost fill this thing up from Dollar Tree. And by the way, these are all of those little plastic containers from Dollar Tree with things separated out. Some of them, the round ones, or have the dividers. The rectangular ones do not, but it's based upon the quantity that you need. $1, and I'm able to celebrate everything. Not celebrate, but to separate everything. And of course, you do have your Ziploc bags where you can keep your things separate, like the little tools that you use to pick up the gemstones with and put the glue on them, or the hot glue. And of course, keeping Ziploc bags handy for these containers is ideal, because you can still keep things separated, especially when they are in small quantities. I think this is a pretty cool idea, and I hope you like it. For a container that measures 12.75 by 12.75, that's a lot of storage, right? So now let's move on to the Bling Tote, guys. This is pretty simple. Bling wrap, that's all that's really in there. And I didn't know I had this much. And again, taking inventory, purging, seeing what you have duplicates of. Now you know you don't need to shop for certain things. You already have it. So I love it. At a glance, I see the inventory. Thanks again, Dollar Tree container. These things come in handy. I want to get about 20 more of them. And they're just the perfect thing. You see straight through them, and they really don't take up a lot of space inside these cubes. Now these acrylics come in tubes or pouches, so I have them in a Dollar Tree plastic container. I'll add the lid directly underneath it just for safekeeping, but that way you don't worry about the bottom getting a little stained. I also have separated all of my gold leaf. I use silver leaf, gold leaf, so I like to have those in these sort of Tupperware containers. They're old, but you know how you do gold leaf and you have those little pieces left over and you can use them in your art? That's what these are for. And I've got my brushes, lots of stencil brushes down there, foams and sponges are also included in this one as well. So just a really good way to keep things separated, neat for what they are and not all over the place. I've also got my little risers here for raising up the easels, you know, more brushes for stenciling. I love that this is all here together. I love it, I love it, I love it. And look at the storage capacity. Labels, anyone? One-stop shop right here. Everything in one location. My collapsible bins came from Amazon. I'm going to find that link and put it in the description box below. If you don't find it today, just know, come back, please. Check the description box. It is going to be there for you. Having starting to really shop for my office supplies, I did go to some stores, Office Max, because I needed an office chair. And like I said, my normal shopping habits are right when the store opens, where there's nobody there but me and the sales associate. So I am pretty much in and out, mask on, long sleeves. I don't know. I'm just a hypochondriac in that way. So, but you will find a lot of variety. I mean, I was very impressed with the selection at Walmart, the textures and the unique hardware on some of those tassels. I mean, just really pretty. And then also went over to, I think that was Office Max. I was looking for a chair there, guys. So I was really pleased with what I found. They had the very affordable ones for $3, $4, and even in metallics with the gold and the white together. So there's some unique selections out there. Mine, as you know, came from Amazon, and I was really impressed with those. Now this is rose gold, but it looks like copper to me, and you know I love copper. Next up, let's get to work on that wardrobe slash shift row, guys. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so today. Press the bell 2 times so you don't miss a single video from this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay in prayer and stay creative.